Sometimes I come across truths that I have to tell myself every now and then. They are truths that society tries to hide from us. Imagine that the person you love has just been shot. They are suffering on the street, bleeding profusely. At that moment, a stranger appears out of nowhere and says, "Step aside." He examines the wound on your loved one and pulls out a pocket knife. He wants to perform the operation right there on the street. You ask, "Are you a doctor?" The stranger replies, "No." So you ask again, "Do you know what you're doing? Are you a retired doctor?" At this point, the stranger seems bothered and responds, "I am law-abiding, honest, never late for anything, a very good son to my parents, healthy, and I don't like swear words." You're confused and ask, "But what does that have to do with my loved one? She's suffering here. I need someone who knows what to do in this situation. Do you know how to handle this or not?" And that's exactly how we react to almost every situation in adult life. We are the guy with the pocket knife while the entire society is the wounded victim. Society needs things. Houses need to be built, people need food to eat, they need entertainment, and various other things. It's no use thinking that just being kind, nice, and honest will make you wanted by society. These things do matter, only if they are accompanied by you doing things for people that they cannot do themselves. Truth number 1. The world only cares about what it can get from you. Now let's turn our attention to those guys who insist on saying that women aren't interested in them, even though they're the nicest guys in the world, and that in contrast, women are only interested in those who have no ambition in life, that they only want someone with a lot of money. Again, the world only cares about what it can get from you. So what do you have to offer to the woman of your dreams? What are you really good at? I'm freaking good at my computer game. Digging a little deeper, are you telling me that women don't want me because I don't have a good job and a lot of money?
No.
That's not what I'm saying. Money isn't important in itself. Anyone who says that women only care about money is just making excuses for their rejections. Women don't want money. They want what you have to offer. Are you smart? Funny? Interesting? Creative? If so, okay. Now what do you do to demonstrate these attributes to the world? Your beloved is bleeding in the street. Do you know how to perform surgery or not? But I'm not prejudiced, greedy, or rude. Seriously, is it that everything you do? She lists a bunch of flaws that you don't have? If that's the case, then don't complain about how women fall for jerks because they fall for them, because those jerks have things to offer. Truth number 2. What you do doesn't have to make money, but it needs to benefit people. So you want me to watch some videos on how to get a woman? No, I want you to watch videos on how to become the kind of person women want to be around. And the problem with this second type of video is that it often asks you to temporarily give up some of your favorite hobbies and pay more attention to what other people want. Being yourself is great, but humans need things. The victim is bleeding. The only thing you can do is hang your head and lament. Wounds won't heal themselves. But I don't know how to operate. I'm not good at anything. If you think like that, I have good news. Nobody is born knowing how to do things. Everyone is born not knowing how to do anything and learns over time. So with some repetition, you can get somewhat good at anything. If you want to get really good at something, you'll need to go further. The time for that revolves around the much talked about 10,000 hours, or roughly 5 to 10 years. And when I mention this value, people are usually scared by the prospect of having to spend all that time learning a skill. The thing is, we don't have a choice. Well, we do. How much time do you spend consuming things that other people have made that don't add any knowledge to you? Take 90% of that time and use it to learn something new. I'm completely convinced that if you just change that, in the next 5 years, your entire life will change for the better. Truth 3. You'll need to work on yourself if you want to change anything. At this point, many people say, so-and-so has been at their job for 20 years and still isn't a world standard in anything. But I don't know so-and-so, so I only know that they fall into one of these three categories. Either they are a world standard and you don't know, or they do so many different things in their job that they don't have the necessary time to become great at one of those things. Or they claim to pay attention to their work, but actually do it mostly on autopilot. There's no point in me posting photos on Instagram saying that I'm working when I'm not. What matters is the work itself. Using a well-known metaphor, a tree is not judged by the fertile soil it's in, not judged by the water that waters it. A tree is judged by its fruit. Those that don't bear good fruit are cut down and thrown into the fire. So, nobody cares about your soil. Who you are on the inside doesn't matter to the world, but rather your fruit, what you produce for other people. That's obvious. You hear about a tragedy in your community and say, "Poor kids, the world would be a better place if they had a better life." I'll keep all of them in my thoughts. Now tell me, what do these kids really need? They need someone to help them. Thoughts without action are an idea that wasn't born in this world. Truth number 4. Who you are on the inside only has value for what it leads you to do. And in seeing all of this, I know your brain is trying to come up with excuses to change absolutely nothing. Your brain is seeking ways to reject all of this, which happens frequently with me, and it must happen with you too. You might have found something in the middle of the video that, taken out of context, seems like an insult. Who is he to call me lazy and say that I'm no good? You might focus on me as a person instead of focusing on the message. Who is this guy telling me how to live my life? As if he were someone good and out of the ordinary. If he were a millionaire living in a mansion, with a car in the garage and a beautiful model by his side, then maybe this would make sense. But you can change the narrative of your own story. Things aren't so bad. Better to leave them as they are than to change. Or, I wouldn't be the same if I changed. And, how is this guy telling me to stop playing video games? To stop watching makeup or soccer channels? And telling me to develop myself? And so on. Truth number 5. Your body and mind don't want you to progress. Unhappiness is comfortable. You don't need to do anything to achieve it. Happiness requires effort. Unhappiness is cowardly. It criticizes the work of others. Happiness requires courage to withstand criticism from others. These were the truths that no one tells you. What you do with this information from now on is your problem. Your ego may want to come up with any excuses it can. I'm here in the comments to listen to you. Or you can start the Olympics of your life, improving 1% each day, battling for years so that you become amazing.